Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. I'm Paula from Moxy Mojo, and this is day 18 of Dephemerember 2023, your ephemera inspiration for December. Wow, I cannot believe we are into the third week already. Thanks for joining me for today's prompts. Feel free to craft along or sit back and enjoy watching my take on the prompts from Louisa and Barbara. So, what is today's prompt? Plaid and polka dots, please touch. Now, this is another one of those prompts where I've struggled to come up with an idea that I really like for this ephemera. I've had a heap of ideas, but I've struggled nonetheless. And I know we all go through periods like this where we can't come up with an idea that just kind of gels perfectly with what we want. So sometimes we just have to keep mulling on it. Other times it helps if you start to look through your stash to find things that might be possible to use. I have been very blessed during Dephemerember to have received swaps from two very dear friends. So what I did to try and break that inability to come up with an idea was to go through some of the scraps that I'd received. And so I went through the things from Miss Wendy that I got, and I went through the things that I got from Tanja in Australia, and I picked out things kind of based on the colour scheme of my journal, and that's kind of a teal and brown, but going into all kinds of colours. But I did try to stick mainly to the teal. And as I was doing that, I sort of came across a lot of like these narrow pieces of paper. So the thought process kind of mulled as I was doing this, and I came to the conclusion that what my scraps are telling me is that I need to find some tags, or that's what I'm making, is some tags. So I have been through some of the tag bases that I have, and there have been some times where I've felt like doing some crafting but haven't really known what it was I wanted to do. So I went through some of my old 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper, or some of my larger scraps. What have I got? And what can I make out of it? So some of it got cut into journal cards, some of it got cut into tags, and so I went through my stash of tag bases, which are essentially just a tag cut out of a heavyweight card, rectangle, cut off the tops, tag base. And I picked out anything that kind of had this tealy kind of colour, and as well as that I also picked out some neutrals, just in case I wanted to go that route as well. So I've got a huge big stash here. I'm not going to need all of these, but I figured I quite like the selection of papers that I've got here. Even if I just turn them all into tags and decorate all the tags, and then I'll decide which ones I want, the rest can go back into my tag base stash and can be used later on if I don't decide to use them as another one of the prompts. So that's where we're heading at the moment, is I'm just going to glue or adhere some of these papers, and there's like tissues, there's scrapbooking papers, there's book papers, there's napkins, there's packaging, you name it. I'm just going to adhere it over one of my tag bases, and then we'll go from there. So I am going to leave like some of them plain, like these are the perfect colouring, but like some of these ones like this, or these that aren't quite the teal colour that I want, I'll use those, and then I might look at, okay, well, what have I got in here, and go from there. And like when I cut my tag bases, in order to get the maximum out of my paper, especially if I'm using 12 by 12s, is if they've got, you know, that manufacturer's extra bit on where they're glued into the 12 by 12 pad, if it makes a difference, I will leave that on, because I know I'm probably going to cover the whole tag. So that way you can actually get more out of your paper. So don't, you know, sometimes leave that on before you, or until you decide what it is that you actually want to cut out of your paper. And some of them have got it on the top, some of them like this have got the extra bit down the bottom, because obviously that was cut that way up. But yeah, leave that bit on and make the most of whatever paper it is that you've got. So I'm just going to like glue some of this paper on. I'll glue it on, and then once it's dry, I'll then trim around the outside. But I'll speed all of this through so that you can just see kind of what I do and then what the end result is. So as I said, I've made up some of the tags. I didn't use them all. I've still got a pile of them here beside me that are currently just the backgrounds that they were. These are the ones that I covered with the pages and the scraps that I received. So they are kind of sitting to one side at this stage. So I thought I'd start with this one. And in amongst all the stuff that Wendy sent me, she sent me these glitter polka dots. And okay, there's part of the blue one here. But what I thought is, because this is about inspiring you to, or about touch and polka dots and plaid, I thought, well, you can actually feel the glitter on there. It feels quite funky. So I thought I'll just, really plain and simple, attach them to this tag base. And that'll be a very quick tag that I can use for ephemera. They're all random, which goes well with the circle background beneath it. So, because, I know polka dot patterns are technically regular placement, but for this, I think that looks pretty cool. So we'll just have to add the hole once everything's all dry. Okay, so these dots, polka dots, have well and truly dried now. So I'm just going to go around the outside of the tag using Distress Oxide and Walnut Stain. And then what I'm going to do is just do a very light hint on the real extreme of the edge in black. So we've got the brown sort of coming further onto the front of the tag, and the black is really just touching the edge of the tag. Very light compared. So that's that one there, and try not to go too far onto the back. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the outsides of the circles with my Stabilo All pencil. And if you've done any kind of mixed media, you've probably heard about one of these. They are water soluble pencils that can write on any surface. So I'm just going to do just lightly kind of draw around each circle. So you really don't need to do a lot on that. And then I've got a water brush pen. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of water. Right, there we go. That's way more than enough. And now we're going to blend out this all pencil. Now it's not blending too bad on here. It does blend a lot better on a surface that's not porous, or as porous as what this is. So like for instance, if you're doing it on top of an acrylic paint surface, or surface that's got acrylic paint on it, or gesso, or matte medium, anything like that, it does blend a lot better. But this, and you can sort of just blend it out a little bit. Okay, so we will put that aside to dry now. For this tag, I have taken just a plain tag base, and I've got a whole lot of 1-inch circles, and these were from the swap from Miss Wendy. The cardboard ones, or the cardstock ones, I've left as exactly as they are. The ones that were like patterned paper, those I have doubled up just so that they're kind of the same thickness. So now what I'm going to do is very quickly just go around the edges of the circles with walnut stain ink. Right, so this is roughly where they're going to go, but I've just got bitty bits off my ink pad on here, and I want to ink this up very quickly as well. Just because I think it'll be quicker and easier to do it with, or before I've adhered these circles on than after. Right, there we go. Done. So now I'm just going to use my art glitter glue for this, and I'm going to stick with whatever order I kind of put them down in, apart from I'm going to do those two that way. Oh, they're both purple. Yeah. That looks pretty good, and yeah, there is a slight texture there, which is good. This is going to be a nice easy option if you don't have stencils, or you don't want to get out paints, or you don't have paints, or you don't have a lot of inks, and you still want to create something that has a bit of interest. So why am I ruling? Let's not even go there. Let's just go and wing it, shall we? Because yes, that is the way we play. And we're going to put all this away. Because we need some desk space. Because we are bringing out the big guns. Okay, so we have this one here. Sorry guys, you're shifting. So we've got these two here. So now what we're going to do is, how wide is this? Doesn't really matter, but what we're going to do is line it up there and we're just going to trim off. So we're going to cut one. So now we're going to cut 1/4 inch strips. Your strips can be whatever size you like. I can't do any more than that because I can't see any lines. Right, now we are going to do the same with this. Right, so now that we've done all the hard work, we'll move all the long and the short bits, and we're left with these bits. So we've got those ones, and we've got those ones. So now let's just put those ones over there. So right, now what we're going to do is just put these over here. Now I just need to sort out which, because this is my long lot, my long side. Okay, so I've got one there that's got a short angle on it, but the rest are all long. Okay, so that's the only one that I need to put in there, and so we'll do that. We'll start with that one. So here we go. We've got our glue, and we are just going to put a line of glue up there. Now, because there was a big blobble there, I'm just going to spread that up the length of the strip, and then try not to get glue everywhere else, and fail miserably, I should say. So put that there. No, didn't want to put you on there. As long as you've got kind of enough glue, then you should be okay. So we're going to go over and down. There we go. So we've got one stripe on. And then we've got all these scraps that we can hold on to for something else, along with these ones. Okay, so I've got out my cutting mat. I have used this glue to adhere my tag onto the mat because it doesn't stick very well. So essentially I use it as like a repositionable glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out some circles with this. Now this is the Martha Stewart circle cutter, and it cuts from 1 inch to 5.5 inches in 1/16 of an inch increments. So the smallest it will cut is a 1 inch, so that's okay for our needs here. So I've got my little wee bladey thingy in. I will put that in there. So we are now active and need to be careful with what we're doing. So now we're on 1 inch here, so I'm going to start off doing a 1 inch circle, and I'm just going to put it totally randomly on here. So we're now going to cut a 1 inch circle. And it's really, this is probably the smallest circle I've done on here using this, and it's, yeah, really tiny, and it's moved just a smidge, but that's okay, we can tidy that up. So we'll shift that out of the way. So now let's go to a 3 inch circle. So we've got here now, oh, 3 might be too big. Let's go to a, where are we? 2 3/4. I want 2.5. Where are you? 2.5. So I'm actually going to center this off to the side here. So here we go. 2.5. And there. So we've now got a big chunk out of the side. Now, so we can do a smaller one, so maybe a 1 1/4. Is that going to fit? Yeah, just. So in there. Get in there, blade. And that was a bit better. I was out of practice. And we might have to wait, that one's not coming out. So now we want to do maybe, where's a 2 inch? 2, there. Now can we fit that in? 2 will just hit the side there, it'll go there, go to there. So if we move it up there a wee bit, not quite that far. I just want to make sure it's actually inside here, and yeah, bigger circles are definitely much easier. Right, so now we will do, let's do a 1 1/4. Oh, we've got a 1 1/4. Maybe do a 1 1/2 up in this top corner. Where you are you in there? Right, so we're going to go around that way. Perfect. Fall over. And we'll do 1 1/8 there because I think you're going to fit. Oh, yep, we can even go bigger. So, no, it's not 2. 1 1/2 there, and you go around to there. That'll do. Come on, round you go. That's it. Right. I think that might, oh, maybe, can we do, what's, no, we'll do that, leave that. And so we'll put our thingy back in. So slide that on, so safety first. So now I can't injure myself. Now we're going to lift this up very carefully. Alright. One up. Two up. And now, because the other thing is if you've got punches like this, then you can always come in and, where are we? So there, we're going to punch, and I can't see where we're going, but that looks pretty cool. So there's one there, and then we might do another tiny one down the bottom here. That's cool, I like that. So now I'm not going to like throw away, especially not these bigger circles, because they can just go into my scrap bin. So for now that'll be there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sit this over the top and glue it into place. And doesn't that look cool? Okay, so we'll shift that out of the way now so we don't get glue on it. Bring back our glue that sticks. Sorry, triangle glue. Alright. And now what I'm going to do is go all the way around the outside. Now because these are both like reasonably heavy duty, it doesn't really matter what glue you use, but if like one of them was lighter weight, then I'd probably recommend using, you know, a glue that isn't going to warp them. So now, so this is the corner that's got the most to join on. Then we're going for that side. Then we're going for this side. And then that side. And that looks awesome. And it's so simple. And I mean, if all you've got is like a 1-inch punch, then just do 1-inch punches, even just around the outside would still look pretty cool. And if you've got square punches, do square punches. If you've got butterfly punches, do butterfly punches. It will still look pretty cool. Right, so we're going to let that dry a bit. Okay, so I spent way more time on this prompt than I should have. And you know what? I don't regret a single minute of it. You may not, now that I've got to this point in the recording, actually see all of what I've created here, because I know I'm going to have to edit out a lot of it. So what I might do is anything that I don't put into this video, but that I show here, I will probably put into separate videos, maybe on the gap days where we don't have anything, if I get a chance, or certainly in the new year. But I just wanted to show what I've had so much fun creating. So the first few are tags where I've just covered my tag bases with paper that I was gifted from either Miss Wendy or Tanja in Australia. This one I just absolutely love, and I love this paper when it came out. This was just straight because of the colour. This was so that was from Wendy. This was from Tanja, and it was just some of her leftover like packaging paper that was underneath what she was doing. This one was from Wendy, and so was this. So this is kind of my first one really that fits the polka dot side of this. But there's no touch to it, but it still is polka dots. And I mean, if that's what you're looking for and you have the perfect piece of paper, then use that. I'm not gonna say don't do it, and I'm pretty sure that none of the other creators will either. So use what you've got. Right, in our polka dot vein, I also created these ones, and I love these because this is where we can feel the height of these ones in particular, because they're cardboard, plus they look so awesome being glitter, and I like this glitter because it's on the card. It's not going to come off, so who's going to complain about that? And these ones you can feel as well because they're card stock or double layers of pattern paper, and they're just like 1-inch circles which you can cut from scraps. So same with the glitter ones, so they just look really cool. 2 different variations. We then had this one, which was just cutting up tags, and like 3, so I cut up 2 different tags, crisscrossed them, and that gave us the texture there. And you can feel them very definitely. You can feel the 2 different lines that we've got there. This one was fun, and I just love the finished look of it. Probably what I might do is, just to finish it off, I'm just going to grab my walnut stain and just go around the edges. And just finish off the tag. The only thing I haven't done on any of these tags is put holes in them. Put holes in them. For like ribbons or anything like that. And to be honest, I don't know that they need them. Maybe they do, I'm not sure. I love the colours in this one. This one is one of my favourites in terms of colours. And that was some of the scrap that Tanja sent me. I need to back these all with tea and coffee paper, which you all know how to do, so I'm not going to worry about showing you that. So the only thing we need to do therefore is find a page to put them in. So we'll put these ones at the back. I'll put you the other way around, that way. So here's those 5. Oops, I need to glue you back down again by the feel of that. I've pulled you up too high. Then we're going to have these two in there. Along with these two. And then one. I don't know if you're all going to fit in here. Two. Three. I didn't think this through, obviously. Hang on. I want you the other way round. Oh, you need to go there. That's better. There. And there. And you, my love, will have to just fit in there. So, there we go. Way too many tags. But they look awesome in there. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. And I hope you're going to go out and just play. Play with whatever it is you've got. Take risks. Experiment. Do things that you've been afraid to try. And see what you can do with the products that you've got in your stash. But above all, have fun. And I'll see you back in the studio for playtime next time. Bye for now.